have and have experienced loss and all the things that you do after 50. And I do recommend, if you don't like high school reunions, to go after you're 50, because everybody's evened out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like there's no comparison.
The hierarchy is flattened, hasn't it, right?
In fact, there's a kind of beautiful, hey, you're still here.
Yeah.
You know, and going back to Kansas, for my 35th reunion, and there was only 6 people at the reunion out of the 15 who graduated. 2 of them were my girlfriends. One is a happily married lesbian. The other one, lives,
It's a very different world.
Yeah, it's a very different world, and you're like, hey, we're okay.
So let's talk about the moment of Hedwig coming into existence as a production. This is '97. It goes to off-Broadway.
Yeah.
Right.
'97 was off.
'97 is off. '98 is off. And it's on off-Broadway, as it were, right, for a period of time, and then you make a movie. Now, all of this happening, the idea of doing a punk rock musical, which is effectively what this is, a very kind of glam thing. Yeah. You're way ahead of your time, right? I mean, the world you are in now today feels more mainstreamed than at the time.
I mean, all of my films and pieces are kind of like 70s midnight movies, you know, and there were interesting drag plays coming out of the 70s, and Warhol's World, and Charles Ludlam and Charles Bush, who went to Northwestern, and he was a wonderful drag performer and writer. So there were antecedents. They weren't necessarily big.
Well, they were not visible.
Broadway.
I mean, Laverne Cox now, just to name somebody who you mentioned, who might have been around at that time in a very different context, is now on the cover of women's magazines. Yeah. Right? I mean, you couldn't have imagined at the time the mainstreaming of that subculture or that culture to the degree that today it's like everybody embraces it.
Yeah. I mean, it was strange because Broadway, I mean, what is more Broadway than drag? I mean, it's, it is. Right. In Britain, drag has been part of the culture for a long time, so a drag on Broadway is not, on the West End was not a big deal, but in the U.S. it was, and only La Cage aux Folles was in it.
So it goes off Broadway. You performed the part of Hedwig for a while.
For about a year,
For about a year.
That was a great thing, is creating a character that other people can play.
Well, I want to ask you about that, because then, then there's the film, and then eventually some time passes and it goes to Broadway, and Neil Patrick Harris takes the role initially. Andrew Reynolds then after that takes it. You ultimately connect back
Michael
on
C.
the
Hall.
cast of Girls, right?
Myself.
Right. Michael C. Hall. Taye Diggs ultimately is in the role, and I think as it closes on Broadway, Taye Diggs is in the role. You come back. At some point on Broadway. But the point is, all these people have so you've created a character now that other people have inhabited, and just to your point, does it become not yours when somebody else plays it?
It doesn't need to be mine.
Yeah.
Even in the script, I encourage people to make it their own, to add jokes that have to do with where they are, because the character is always performing in the actual space that she's performing.
Right.
And Tommy is some big venue nearby, so if Hedwig is here, whatever, stadium is nearby is what she listens in on. So, and some people control their, Samuel Beckett, various, Edward Albee, no cross-gender casting, very controlling. I'm like, if you've got a piece you're proud of, it should be interpreted in different ways.